So the general list of games coming out in 2018 keeps looking better and better, guys. But what games on PlayStation 4 should you look forward to the most? In this video I'm going to list the best PlayStation 4 games to keep an eye on coming up. Welcome back, my friends. Robin here on Chips Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for gaming. On this channel you will find PC components, tech gadgets and console accessories, as well as gaming reviews. So if you are interested in that, consider subscribing. In this video I'm going to list the most anticipating games to look forward to in 2018 on PS4. Now obviously, since it's a limited list with only 22 spots, there's going to be games missing. So I want to know what games you're looking forward to the most. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. With that said, let's get started, kicking 2018 off with Monster Hunter World. Now the Monster Hunter have always had a huge following in Japan, but struggle a bit in other places in the world, mainly because of the grind heavy gameplay and complex RPG system that do little to make your day easy, though that seems to be all history now, as people are reporting a game that promises co-op fun for you and up to 3 friends, with the rough edges from previous titles smoothened down a bit, but still keeping the appealing core game alive. As it seems, you essentially gear up to hunt down some Gargarian bad guys, then you loot their corpses to fashion weapons and armor to hunt down even bigger and more horrific creatures. This game is huge, guys. If you haven't had a chance to try Monster Hunter World out yet, get on it ASAP. Also let me know what level you are and your initial thoughts. Is it really too much grinding? Let us know. Now moving on to number 2, we got Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ is the next upcoming major release within the Dragon Ball universe. Arc System Works stand for the development, and yeah, they're probably most known for Guilty Gear and yeah, the Blaze Bull series, and I hope I got to pronounce it right. You get to choose the 3 characters to fight and switch through during matches, and the game will follow a newly revived Android 16 and his army of androids that are designed to look like various characters. Now the game quickly became the fastest selling Dragon Ball game ever. It also set a Steam record for the highest number of concurrent users. It landed the 2nd spot in sales chart in the UK, Australia and also on New Zealand, right behind, yeah, believe it or not, Monster Hunter World, who's apparently almost unbeatable. It's crazy, right? Now Shadow of Colossus is the 2006 action-adventure super classic developed by Blue Point Games back on PlayStation 2, now bringing us the latest in high-definition remasters. I gotta say, guys, shit is looking good now. This really shows how much work and time the developer are putting into this super remaster. As I mentioned, this is a remake of the original PlayStation 2 game, this time using ultra high-definition art assets. Now as with any remake, usually the controls are often pretty bad and outdated, but according to the Sony boss Yoshida, they have thought of that by implementing a more modernized way of play, and for those that rather play with the feel of the original version, they have made that possible as well. Now this game is already out. If you bought the game, let us know your thoughts. And moving on, we got Dynasty Warriors 9, hack and slash your way to victory, and his epic game made by Omega Force. Rumors are talking about a huge world in Dynasty Warriors 9. You will experience an immersive open world adventure featuring the signature 1 versus 1000 style action in the series' most ambitious entry to date. You guys know what I'm talking about, you've seen it plenty of times before. The player will explore China as it existed when federal warlords vied for dominance over the land, the waning days of the Han Dynasty and the emergence of the Three Kingdoms era. Now moving on, we got Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now huge medieval open world adventure built on Freedom World. The player get to jump into numerous non-linear quests that can be completed in several different ways. The main story focuses on to drive out an invading army, an army that essentially killed your family. The skill system will let you progress whoever you want, choose between warriors, bard and thief, and different hybrid types. types. There's also a time-limited conversation system that builds or even breaks relationship, and on top of that the player will have needs like sleep and eating, while gear and clothes will degrade as time goes on and will require repairing. Guys, I want to grab my sword and start cutting stuff up. Is that weird to say? Anyway, I'm psyched. I told you that. Now I want to know your thoughts. Moving on, we got Far Cry 5. Believe it or not, this is the 11th installment, but only the 5th in the main title. Up until this point, we've been visiting all kinds of places like snowy mountains in Nepal to, then also travel back in time in Far Cry Primal. This time we get to visit a fictional place called Hope Country, as rumors say, a place within the United States of America in Montana. Now the player are called in to deal with this guy called Joseph Seed, a leader of a cult who has forced his way into controlling Hope Country as more innocent civilians become trapped and forced into taking orders from Joseph. Only a few of residents stand between Seed and his reign. Expect a first-person shooter in an open-world environment where exploration on both foot and through vehicle will get you closer to putting an end into Joseph's whole mess, alright? Many years have passed since Kratos took his vengeance against the Olympian gods, having survived his final encounter with his father Zeus. Kratos now lives with his son Atreus in the world of the Norse gods, a savage land inhabited by many cruel and violent monsters and warriors. In order to teach his son how to survive in such a world, Kratos must master the rage that's driven him for many years and embrace his newfound role as a father and mentor. Now made by the amazing folks over at Santa Monica Studio. Now this game is going to force me into buying a PlayStation 4 Pro, I'm telling you. Moving on, we got The Crew 2. Ubi's Racer is stepping things up a notch by not just including driving but also flying and boating across a huge open world adventure. So forget about driving just about every car you can think of. Now guys, this time you gotta dream even bigger, because in Crew 2 you can also switch between planes and boats. All of this is happening across a huge open world interpretation of what is said to be America, giving you the freedom to indulge just about every kind of racing, basically. Now this is looking good, I'm not going to lie guys. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, let's just move on because I think I did something with my head. Moving on to number 8, we got A Way Out. A Way Out is an adventure where you get to jump into this unique action adventure of two convicts who must survive and escape a prison, directed by the Swedish phenomenon Joseph Fares and the rest of the studio that brought us Brothers: A Tale from Two Sons. Now the game required 2 players, with the display being split screen regardless of playing the video game locally or through online. The stories will be told simultaneously, and while one character may be in a cutscene or something, the other will be able to freely move and execute their tasks. Pretty radical, right? As you would imagine guys, teamwork is going to be key here in this unique telling story. Peter Parker is 23 years old and interning at a laboratory while about to graduate from college. Peter has been Spider-Man for 8 years and has settled into his role as protector of New York City. The game is set in an open world modern day New York City and played from a third-person perspective. Now usually when it comes to licensed games like this one, typically I'm never really that excited because I've been burned so many times, but knowing that Insomniac is behind the levers makes me feel confident. From what we know so far, this could very well be the most ambitious Spider-Man game ever made. This spring guys will definitely have an answer. Moving on, we got Jurassic World Evolution, which is a theme park simulator made by the developer Frontier Studios, the same studio that brought us Planet Coaster, Elite Dangerous, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. According to Frontier Studios, the player are put in the charge of the cinema's greatest tourist destination, where they will have the opportunity to create and manage their own Jurassic World. You will be able to control the operations on Isla Nublar as well as the surrounding islands, breeding new dinosaurs, building attractions, containment, and research facilities. God, is it hot in here? I'm sweating a ton right now, guys. I'm psyched, as you can hear. Moving on, we got Biomutant. In Biomutant, players take on the role of a raccoon look-alike creature that must save the world. With a poisonous oil spreading up from the ground, the world as we know it is quickly getting infected and dying off. This disease has also spread to the Tree of Life, a giant tree that brings life to the whole world. It is up to the player to seek out each of the 6 roots of the Tree of Life and stop the oil and defeat each boss. Furthermore, the game will be tossing players a number of decisions of what they will affect the overall narrative storyline. VAMPYR. First, Remember Me, followed up by Life is Strange, and now VAMPYR. Then Tord Entertainment has crafted up some popular titles so far, that's for sure. VAMPYR takes place during the 1918th Spanish flu pandemic in London, where players take the role of a doctor called Jonathan Reed, who's in a predicament as he's a vampire with a bloodthirsty nature, but is battling his condition with his Hippocratic Oath. This is an action role-playing title where players can traverse part of the world while also leveling in order to unlock new abilities and skills through the skill tree. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the hotly anticipated games on this list and also one of the furthest out. Now, Cyberpunk is an enigmatic project from CD Projekt Red, the guys who made the Witcher series. Now, this is going to be a sci-fi adventure RPG. Now, we don't know for sure, but it could be another 2 years before Cyberpunk hits the store. Now, there's not that much that we know about this game so far, so enjoy the trailer that is playing right now, because that's pretty much all there is as of right now. Also, as I said, the game might not even come out in 2018 because CD Projekt Red doesn't say anything whatsoever, and yeah, that's also perfectly okay because they're CD Projekt Red, so technically this game shouldn't even be on this list from the first place. I mean, come on guys, can't the boy just dream a little? Anyway, cross our fingers because a release this year would be just amazeballs. Developed since 2014, The Last of Us 2 is the game that we all been waiting for. The part 2 of this saga was first announced by Naughty Dog at the PlayStation Experience in 2016 alongside a teaser trailer. Despite the teaser trailer being visually stunning, it was stressed that the game was still in a very early development, no doubt to make it clear that the game as a whole wasn't at this stage yet to manage the fans' expectations. Now 2018 has only begun as of making this video, and no one really knows if this game is coming out this year or if we're gonna have to wait until 2019, but it would be weird not to include it on the list, right? Until we have a definitive answer. One can only dream, right? Third installment in the Metro game series, and a game that has been in development since 2014, developed by 4A Games and based on the Dmitry Glukhovsky novel comes Metro Exodus, a first-person shooter that takes place in the not-so-distant future, more specifically in 2036, once again in a post-apocalyptic Earth which was devastated by war, where nuclear weapons were used, pretty much destroyed everything. That was whoever decades ago. Once again we get to experience a reality where an unknown catastrophe rendered the surface inhospitable, forcing humanity to live underground, expect a ton of strange demons and supernatural phenomenons. Now I enjoyed Last Light, and Exodus will follow the events of the previous title, and yeah, that's all that I'm telling you guys without getting into spoilers. Exciting stuff. Now if you have played through the story campaign in the previous title, please guys share your thoughts on Last Light without dropping any spoilers. I'm dying to know. Days Gone is an action-adventure survivor horror game set in a post-apocalyptic open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The player takes control of the game's protagonist, Deacon St. John, also known as Samuel Witwer, a drifter and former bounty hunter who prefers prefers to live a dangerous life on the road over living in wilderness encampments. The game takes place 2 years after a global pandemic occurred which killed almost all of humanity and transformed millions of others into freakers, a mindless zombie-like creature that quickly are evolving. Now from the 2016's E3 trailer, 2 types of freakers were revealed, the newts and the hordes. As the game is set in an open world environment, the player can use multiple ways to complete objectives such as utilizing stealth for silent takedowns or taking the aggressive approach by using long and short range weapons. Now who's in for killing some brain dead folks? From the studio that brought us Grand Theft Auto, the game that forced us to call in sick at work, now comes Red Dead Redemption 2, a western shooter that is taking place before the events of the original Red Dead Redemption story, a prequel if you want. That's what the rumors are saying at least. Now the player will follow the outlaw Arthur Morgan in a third-person perspective and the Vanderlyn gang in the upcoming installment of this gritty western, set to be released on October 26th. Now this is one of the biggest releases in 2018 without a doubt. Rockstar has delayed the release 2 times now. It seems like they are committed to make this game something else. By the way guys, I have created a YouTube channel specifically for Red Dead Redemption 2 where I'm going to cover basically everything about the game up until launch and share my 2 cents. Now if you guys want to be a part of that, find the channel down in the description. Now Shenmue 3 hopes to conclude a story that began way back in December 1999 on the Sega Dreamcast. Now, is there any one of you guys that ever heard of this console? Did you own one? If so, let us know. Now, regardless, there's nothing to stress about since there's plenty of videos on YouTube that can fill you in. The 3rd installment is developed by Nilo and EaseNet and published by Deep Silver, scheduled for release in the second half of 2018 for Windows and PlayStation 4. The game follows teenage martial art Ryo Hazuki in his quest to find his father's killer in the 1980s China. The 3rd and potentially final installment will conclude Ryo Hazuki's tale of redemption as he seeks to revenge his father's death. Now we're all hoping for a vast open world to explore all the charm and innovation previous games dealt in spades. Soul Calibur 6 represents the latest entry and the premier weapon-based head-to-head fighting series and continues the epic struggle of warriors searching for the legendary Soul Swords. Now the 6th installment is taking place in the 16th universe. Revisit the events of the original Soul Calibur to uncover hidden truths. So what games are you guys looking forward to the most in 2018? Let me know in the comments below. Now on this channel I cover a variety of gaming related peripherals, tech, console and PC components such as headset, headphones, mics, monitors and so on. Recently I listed the best budget headsets on PlayStation 4. A link to that video can be found down below. With that said, who am I to talk about this? Well, first off, I've been a gamer since I can remember. I'm a tech junkie. I also worked in the gamer peripheral scene in the past. I've also built and overclocked computers for 12 years and I've been a content creator for 3. Now there is a ton of videos just around the corner for you guys if you're looking for the best budget monitor, headset, keyboard, headphones, mousepad and more. Consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to tap the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any uploads on my end. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Robin on Ships Media. Until next time guys, have an awesome day, alright? Bye!